The Supreme Court is on fire, making liberals cry again. They are on fire with these rulings, man. We got major, major victories, man. The Supreme Court ruled on it was unconstitutional in New York the way they had their laws or policies of going about getting a concealed carry license. The liberal shithole states just got punched in the face by the Constitution and the law. And our Supreme Court justices uphold the law. It was a 6-3 decision. Now, what's baffling to me, it wasn't 9-0. It wasn't 9-0. It should have been 9-0. This was a no-brainer. And I'm going to go into the article breaking it down. But you guys also know they had the Roe versus Wade decision. So we got two major victories for pro-life and for the right to bear arms. It's really simple, American people. Thou shalt not infringe. It's really simple. And this is very, very important to me on many different levels, man. As you guys know my story, I once partaked in degeneracy. It baffles me that these liberal shithole minds of our country, the feeble-minded, as Morgan Single would say, the weak of our society, because that's what I look at them as. I'm going to use their language. It baffles me that they think that they can legislate evil. You can't legislate evil. This is coming from somebody that once was a degenerate ass that destroyed this community and hurt people. I was out there thugging. I got an illegal firearm. You don't think that they had gun laws and restrictions in place for getting for law-abiding citizens to be able to obtain a firearm? But my felony thug ass was able to get an illegal firearm and shoot two people. Explain to me that. So it's amazing to me that they come up with these loopholes and these ways to make strain and keep good American people from being able to get firearms. Thou shalt not infringe. Listen, American people, your ability to protect yourself does not end at the doorstep. It doesn't end at the doorstep. You have the right to keep and bear arms. So this ruling is a big win for the Second Amendment right. All of us of all shades of color should practice the right to keep and bear arms, period. It's our God-given constitutional right. The original framework is they knew thou shalt not infringe. So it's important to me, someone that can partake in degeneracy through his decisions, my decisions that led me into prison to serve time, to only come home and change my ways, change my life, change the way that I view myself and view the world and how I think. I killed off that ignorant, destructive culture that's running rampant in this country, that thug life. I worked very hard, and time heals, and we live in a great country that afforded me the ability to get all my civil rights back, including my Second Amendment rights. So this one is important to me. It means a lot to me. If you don't know my story, I'll make another video on another one. Put it in the comments if you really want to hear my story. I'll make a video on it. But this is important to me on so many levels. The decision came down to a 6-3 decision, and it should have been 9. But it just goes to show you that those other 3 Supreme Court justices, they are not there to uphold the Constitution and law. They are there for ideology. It is damn near terrifying. When I read off what they had to go through, the strenuous things they had to go through just to obtain a concealed carry, it's absurd, man. So I want to read this. It says, the existing standard required an applicant to show proper cause for seeking a license. Let me keep going. And allowed New York officials to exercise discretion in determining whether a person has shown a good enough reason for needing to carry a firearm, stating that one wish to protect themselves or their property was not enough. First of all, proper cause. Proper cause is I am a law-abiding, upstanding citizen in America that wants to exercise my God-given constitutional right, period. As I said earlier, your ability to keep and bear arms to protect yourself does not stop at the doorstep. But this is what these liberal shithole states, this is what they do. It was only 3. major liberal shithole states, all other 47 states follow the Constitution. They have provisions and things in place that people have to go through in order to get a concealed carry. And some of them are very seamless. You go and get a background check. If you pass the background check without a concealed carry, you have to wait 3 days before you can even get your firearm. If you do got the concealed carry, then you can leave right out of the store right then and there with your firearm. At least that's how it is in Florida. Tell me what it is in your state and the process of you going about getting it. When I had to go and get my concealed carry, it was more of a vigorous process for me because of my past. But once I petitioned the court in Virginia, because you got to go to the state to where you got in trouble. Once I petitioned the court and hired a lawyer to represent me after I've waited 19 years, we petitioned the court. The judge was able to use a balance scale and see that I had changed my life around, and he granted me my Second Amendment rights back. From there, I had to come back to Florida and apply. And it's simple. You take a class on concealed carry. It typically could take up to X amount of hours. I think each place is different. At least in Florida, that's how it was. You could go that same day and walk into a DMV and apply for your concealed carry. They had it on the computer. You apply. Very simple process. You provide your ID. They fingerprint you, and then you wait. Normally, it comes back within probably, I want to say, give or take 60, maybe 90 days. It could be longer. For me, it took damn near half a year, 6 to 7 months, and I got it in the mail. But before I even got it in the mail, I ended up having to put in an appeal because it hadn't updated in Florida's system that I got my rights back in Virginia. Once it updated and I was able to put in an appeal and show them the documentation where the judge signed off on granting me my Second Amendment rights, then the wait process started. I want to say 3-4 months later, which ended up being 6 to 7 months, it came in the mail. And I walk around now with the concealed carry. Yeah, complete fell in the ass walking around with a concealed carry. So these other 47 states, they follow what the Constitution is. Thou shalt not infringe. They have things in place for you to go through a process of obtaining your firearm so that you can protect yourself. But these liberal shithole states, one of them, California, the number one strictest gun law state in America that has so much, it's riddled with crime. I stopped saying gun violence because it ain't the gun. It's degenerate violence that use the tool, a gun as a tool to commit their vicious acts on innocent people. California, Illinois, and New York. Everybody knows that are trying to restore their rights, that if you ever got in trouble in any of those states, you are screwed. You ain't getting your rights back. It's almost impossible. You're going to have to figure out another route. But here, this Supreme Court ruling ruled it out. It was unconstitutional. Can you imagine? They said a New York official. Can you imagine a government official subjectively having to make a decision whether you can or cannot conceal carry a firearm to protect yourself or your home? It's left up to a government official to subjectively make that decision. And then they even went on further and said, if you stated that you wish to protect yourself or your property, that is not sufficient enough. That is infringing like crazy on your rights. But yet we got three Supreme Court justices that can't follow the Constitution and the law. They're opposed because they're not there to uphold our Constitution and law. They are there to push the agenda and uphold ideology. This one was a simple case. Case closed. Everybody can see they are infringing. The way they have this set up is wrong to keeping good law-abiding citizens. I think they were trying to do it through, what was I want to say? They called them sensitive place laws. Sensitive place laws. New York was trying to say that it's a metropolitan area. That everywhere in New York is, so there's a lot of groups of people, it's congested, that this is a sensitive place. So it fell under the sensitive place laws. And that's how they were infringing on people. But now it's going to change. No more of that degeneracy, criminality running rampant in New York, completely inflicting havoc and terrorism on good law-abiding citizens in New York. People are actually going to be able to protect themselves now. We don't even have to go into the violence in the degeneracy that's running rampant in New York. We know there's soft on crime, kid glove laws out there. We know the no bails and the defund the police rhetoric that these Democratic talking heads are talking. We could go to any Democratic state and city, and their policies are literally undermining and harming people. This is why this decision was so important, man. I am loving it, loving it, loving it, loving it. Special needs standards to demand. But I want to end it with this, because I don't want to get long-winded. I want to end it with this. I want you to put in the comments what your thoughts are on this. There was, man, God bless Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, man. You know, that's what kills me about these social justice warriors. That's why I got a deep disdain for them. They always talk about we need black representation, black representation. Well, we know who appointed Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, which is a black man that holds conservative values, that upholds the Constitution. And for years before I probably was even born, even as long as I've been in the politics, which is about 3 years, I'm still an infant in this. He has been doing great work, and he has been judging and balanced in maintaining to law in the Constitution. But because the left does not like a black man that holds conservative values, the values of the people that they try to vilify and demonize, they call the man Uncle Tom. You should see all the racist stuff that's been coming out ever since they've made these decisions. So God bless Clarence Thomas for upholding the Constitution that them great white pale men, the frameworkers, the original frameworkers of the Constitution, them great white men, those white abolitionists, those men that created the Union, the United States of America, that wrote the Constitution to withstand the time. Thank God for them for writing that document, to upholding our Constitution, our God-given rights in this country, which is why America is so unique and everybody else wants to come here. Thank you, God, for them white men. And them black liberals, they can't stand it because they think everything is racist and they can't stand to see a black man uphold real values, that is able to see right from wrong, that don't go along with the agenda that actually affects them. He ain't no victim. He is a successful black man. What more representation can you ask for? I want to end it with this. Clarence Thomas had a quote, and you got to look it up, man. He said the Second Amendment is in place not for the government to limit it or restrict limited individuals' rights, but more so, rather than more so restrict the government. Let me say it again. The Second Amendment is not in place for the government to limit any individual's rights, but more so rather in place to limit the government. If that ain't said everything that you need to hear today, that solidifies it. Thank God for Clarence Thomas. Thank God for our Constitution. Thank God for everybody that's freedom fighters out there. If you ain't got your firearm, go out there. You have the right to keep and bear arms. I can't wait to see the changes. People need to be out there and protect themselves, man. You can't make good people helpless and hope that bad people would be harmless. You can't legislate evil. This is coming from an ex-con, someone that once destroyed his community. I still was able to obtain firearms regardless of what gun laws that you can pass. It doesn't make a difference. Leave us good law-abiding citizens alone and give us our ability to keep and bear arms, period. It's your boy, Craig Long 45. If it's your first time to the channel, please like, comment, and subscribe and share to save somebody's life. In the words of Larry Elder, we truly have a country to save. It's your boy, Craig Long 45. I'm out. Peace.
Ya, uy.